Let's get right into this. Number 10. The Soviet ape-human hybrid project. Scientists can't play God, except apparently in Soviet labs. In the 1920s and 30s, Soviet biologist Ilya Ivanov allegedly tried splicing ape and human DNA to create a super species. Picture a lab full of half-monkey, half-human interns arguing over coffee breaks. Awkward, right? The goal was supposedly to accelerate evolution, maybe even produce soldiers who could march, think, or grunt on command. Genetics, however, isn't a cocktail mixer. Most hybrids are sterile or fail before birth. But humans can't resist forbidden experiments, can we? We peek, poke, and obsess over the impossible. Modern researchers now scoff at the idea, realizing ethical boundaries exist for a reason. Yet, it's fascinating to imagine a world where a lab assistant scratches their head, wondering if their coworker is part chimp. Moral? Curiosity is relentless, but nature always has the last laugh. And yes, this weird obsession vanished quietly, probably with some monkeys filing complaints we'll never read. Number 9. The scientist who grew synthetic embryos. Life in a petri dish. How hard can it be? One ambitious scientist decided to grow human embryos from scratch. No mom, no dad, just pipettes and a dream. Think IKEA furniture instructions, but instead of shelves, it's human life. These early embryos could survive a few days, enough to study development, but never fully developed. Life apparently has standards. Scientists hope to understand disease, reproduction, and how life even starts. But tiny humans in a dish quickly proved stubborn. It's kind of like trying to bake a soufflé in a blender. The ingredients are there, but chaos rules. Everyday takeaway? Even life doesn't like shortcuts or skipping the assembly instructions. Twist. Some of these embryos were used to study cell division and organ formation. Basically, tiny humans became unwitting research interns. Punchline. Next time you complain about assembling IKEA furniture, remember someone's out there assembling life itself. Number 8. Parthenogenesis. Life born without fathers. Who needs dads? In the wild, some creatures like lizards, bees, and sharks can reproduce solo through parthenogenesis, basically females cloning themselves. Scientists have even triggered early-stage human embryos in labs without sperm, proving biology sometimes ignores dating apps entirely. Imagine a world where babies just appear. No awkward dinner conversations, no awkward family introductions, just instant offspring. In nature, this works surprisingly well, though the offspring are usually clones, perfect genetic photocopies of the mother. Relatable. Ever feel like repeating your mistakes over and over? That's basically parthenogenesis, but with life instead of life choices. Twist. This solo reproduction rarely results in fully viable offspring in mammals, meaning evolution still insists on a partner for the full experience. Punchline. Moms. If you ever wanted ultimate me time, nature's giving you a clone, but without the bedtime tantrums, diaper duty, or college tuition. Number 7. Cloning attempts before Dolly the sheep. Dolly wasn't the first, she was just the celebrity. Long before 1996, scientists worldwide tried cloning frogs, mice, and occasionally dreamed of humans. Most attempts ended in spectacular failure. Embryos fizzled, mutated, or became genetic Frankenstein disasters. Cloning isn't magic. It's trial, error, and a dash of hubris. Even Dolly herself developed arthritis early, showing that copying life doesn't come with a warranty. The goal was to understand development and maybe someday mass-produce organs or preserve endangered species. But mostly, labs became crash courses in patience and disaster management. Relatable? Think of baking a cake with the wrong recipe multiple times until something edible appears. Surprise twist. Some failed clones provided critical insights into genetics, proving even disasters teach lessons. Punchline. Some things are better left unique, or you might end up with a sheep plotting world domination with your old homework. Number 6. Growing mini brains that react to music. Brains in a jar. Just add Beethoven. Scientists have grown tiny human brain organoids that literally respond to music. Tiny neurons fire in sync with beats, like a microscopic rave. These aren't conscious minds, more like very enthusiastic Spotify listeners with no social life. Researchers hope to study brain development and neurological diseases, but watching them dance under a microscope is strangely mesmerizing. Relatable? Ever jam alone in your room and feel smarter? These mini brains do the same, minus snacks and judgment. Twist. Some organoids even start forming neural networks, hinting at primitive communication. Imagine a world where your favorite playlist is secretly influencing tiny labs of dancing neurons. Punchline. Next time your music gives you goosebumps, remember, you're not alone. Somewhere, mini brains are grooving right along. Number 5. The experiment to communicate with plants. Plants are listening, probably judging you. Researchers hooked beans, tomatoes, and other plants to electrical sensors to see if vibrations, music, or human voices influenced growth. Results? Yup, plants react to stimuli, stress them, and their leaves droop. Play Chopin and they perk up like tiny green concert goers. Everyday takeaway, even life without a brain senses its environment, kind of like your coworkers responding to vibes, just slower and leafier. Twist. This isn't magical, it's biochemistry and physics, showing that life is sensitive in ways we often ignore. Some even suggest plants can remember repeated stimuli, like passive-aggressive roommates noting your every bad habit. Punchline, next time someone tells you to talk to your plants, they weren't being metaphorical. They might just be eavesdropping on your monologues about life and taxes. Number 4. The creation of self-replicating nanobots. Tiny robots, huge apocalypse potential. Scientists dreamed up microscopic machines that could reproduce themselves. Picture Terminators, invisible and annoyingly persistent, multiplying in your bloodstream. The plan: deliver medicine, repair cells, maybe fight tumors. Reality check: self-replicating tech is insanely hard to control. One slip and you could get a Grey Goose scenario where nanobots eat everything in sight. Everyday comparison, like baking cookies without supervision, but the cookies eat your kitchen instead. Twist: most experiments never left the lab because containment was a nightmare, teaching scientists more about boundaries than creation. Moral: just because you can make something replicate doesn't mean you should. Punchline: if your robot starts copying itself, congratulations, you're no longer the mom, you're just part of the buffet. Number 3. The dog with 2 heads experiment. Double the dog, double the confusion. In a bold and ethically questionable Russian experiment, scientists surgically joined puppies to study development and physiology. Imagine feeding time, 2 heads arguing over the same kibble, one tail wagging while the other sulks. Most of these conjoined pups didn't survive, but a few managed to walk, breathe, and even cuddle awkwardly. Everyday takeaway: nature is fragile and experiments have consequences. Life doesn't tolerate shortcuts. Twist: despite the bizarre appearance, these studies offered real insights into organ sharing and developmental biology. Punchline: the moral: dogs are perfectly fine one-headed. Anything else is a recipe for chaos, snacking wars, and lab tech headaches. Number 2. Human-pig chimera trials. Ever wanted a pork-chop-human hybrid? No? Well, scientists tried anyway. Researchers injected human stem cells into pig embryos to study organ growth, hoping one day to harvest human-compatible organs for transplants. Reality? Ethical boards freaked out, progress was slow, and no one ended up with a swine-human overlord, just slightly confused pigs and a lot of lab paperwork. Relatable. It's like trying a wild recipe. Half the ingredients are morally questionable, and the taste test scares you. Twist: these experiments actually advanced our understanding of organ rejection, stem cell behavior, and transplantation potential. Punchline: sometimes the only thing harvested is knowledge, not nightmares, so don't worry. Your bacon isn't plotting against you yet. Number 1. The biologist who made DNA glow in the dark. Glow in the dark DNA, because why not? Clever biologist engineered DNA to fluoresce, turning chromosomes into neon party lights under a microscope. Purpose? Track genes, visualize life, and understand cell behavior in a way that textbooks can't capture. Everyday comparison, like installing tiny LEDs in your apartment wiring just to watch electricity dance. Twist: humans didn't glow, just their microscopic code, but it made complex biology strikingly visible, turning abstract science into literal light shows. Relatable? Imagine watching your own blueprint glow while sipping coffee. It's nerdy, mesmerizing, and slightly psychedelic. Punchline: for once, science didn't just teach, it entertained, proving life can literally light up your nerdy world without caffeine, judgment, or existential crises.